Okay, so continuing with our day two studies, we did study about a couple of hours off stream. Couldn't share the. I was doing big blind versus button, and I couldn't really share it because I didn't know what kind of copyrights, etc., the content would have. So I couldn't like put it on screen and like do it together. But these are the hands that I saved yesterday. So let's look at them quickly. Um, I am not proficient in bounties, to be honest. Haven't done a lot of studying for the bounties. Uh, so I am struggling with the bounty format a bit, but let's check that. This is a non-bounty spot. I don't know why I have saved this. Let's check that. G2X. Let's go. Uh, okay. Okay, so 30 bigs. 30 bigs. I think there'll be a mix of limping and we will do ICM 50% left because I really don't want to look at non-ICM ranges. And this is, we can do symmetric 30, I think. Yep. So how does, at 50% left, how does small blind play? Small blind limps a lot, about 52%, which is fine. And Jack 9 off is a mix between a limp and a raise. It is mostly getting limp. So I guess this was the question. But let us look at this range holistically so that next time we don't have to save the spot. Mm, looks like all the bad suited hands are getting limp uh, with a very high frequency, and some of the worst of the suited hands are being raised, assuming as a bluff to 3x sizing. Then we have the value portion of the range, tens plus, ace 7 suited plus, ace queen off plus. Ace jack is being jammed at some frequency and limped at some frequency. So the offsuit aces are primarily getting raised. Very few exceptions, ace 4, ace 3, ace 7, that's it. Worst of the kings, queens offsuit are getting limp. So yeah, this range, funnily, the first thing that comes to my mind is you can never go wrong with this range because as long as you're folding these, everything else is almost a mix. So you'll always end up being able to explain what you're doing. Let's see what happens. Will them fine. Do we have a question on post flop as well? Okay, this is a bounty, so let's check this impact. PKO 1000 players field minimum because this is GG. Now let us look at a spot 30 versus. I don't think we have anything at 30 in the small blind, the big blind covering us. Not really. Let's try 37% left and see if we get something. Symmetric is there, so we are fine. Though he covers us, so it will not be exact. It will not be exactly symmetric, but it will be close. 32, 34, 31, 30. No, not really. 30, 25. Yeah, I think we'll have to do with 30 symmetric. So PKO almost behaves the same way. I don't think there is too much of a change other than ace 9 being jammed. That I think is primarily got to do with 37% left instead of like 50% left. Okay, so this is what I should have done, and that's fine. The razors, so small blind limps. This guy makes it a little more than 3, but we have 3 here, so we'll go ahead with it. Ace 9, I guess, will purely be called, yes. And there is a lot of calling going on here. 55% calls. Very little folds. Those are the worst of the worst. Easy to kind of pick this. Okay. And now I don't think we can do anything other than folding. So I think the question was primarily regarding pre-flop. Yes, ace-9 is being limped, and yes, ace-9 is, we are calling ace-9 versus a raise. Offsuit hands are sensitive to the raise size, so I guess if he was raising like 4x or something, we might get closer to a fold. But that is not something I'm gonna break my head on. The only thing I want to see is what happens if we are like near bubble unstructured. Near bubble symmetric 30 bigs. What does small blind do? Small blind still plays almost the same way, and how does it react to a raise? It folds a little more. Okay. If it's like final tables, then what happens? 30-50, this should do. Small blind limps. Final two tables. There's more limping going on here. Yeah. Because he covers us, we limp, he raises with a jack 9 off, we fold. Final two tables, PKO, lot more hands are getting folded. So instead of just this portion, there is some amount of folding happening here. Okay. I think that's that for this hand. What do we have here? I do have a final table to review, but sadly I didn't increase the size in the screen, so it's like this small window which I'll have to review. We'll do that later. Please. So this is what 850. Wow. And again, I'm assuming this is like 50% or lesser to the left. So PKO 25% left. Let's assume symmetric. No, not really. Button has like 50 or more. Let's find a button 50 or more. Okay, so low jack opens 66. Button has 58. Let's check this hand. Primarily trying to understand if this is a flat or a pivot. Ace queen suited is getting called way more often. Okay. Sadly, we won't have a solve for three-way, but I want to just check this. If button calls this raise, first of all, it wasn't a 2x, it was larger. But, there's nothing much I can do about it. Button gets to call a lot. Button covers us, so I think in a bounty environment could be calling even more than this. We won't have a solution for three-way, so let's see what happens. Okay, we'll assume button folds. Oh, ICM will not have a solution. Stop, so that let me change this. 50 bigs. Low jack opens. Button still calls if he's been suited, which is interesting. I think I 3-bet this a lot more in game, which I think is a lead. Big blind folds, flop is. So before I get into the flop solve, I think this is gonna get checked by the button very often when low jack checks, especially three-way. Three-way, I think we'll have to play very, very honest. Low jack checks. So Jack shouldn't really be checking much. He should only be checking like 60%. So do we have any pure checks from him? Low pairs, which makes sense. Some sets for a trap, tens and eights. Fives. What else does he check a lot? He doesn't check too many things a lot other than that. Some amount of checking going on here. With no draw, nothing. It's pretty much it. So once he checks, ace queen suited starts barreling, but we'll have to account for the fact that there's big blind in the hand and there is no three-way solve. But I think the big blind will have a decent amount of 10x's, a decent amount of jack nines, decent amount of 8x's, which we don't get a fold from. Uh, with this particular hand, we have a backdoor flush draw. So I do not think betting here, getting raised makes that much of sense. Basically, we can't be betting this for value or as a bluff. I guess this is even worse. Yeah, I think it's just a fold. This should have just been folded. I don't think he like bets turn and checks river. And ace and queen are the only. There are only like six outs that we would be happy calling with, and not even six outs because he could easily be betting with a flush draw. He could easily have 8x, which we will not beat either ways. And very rarely will he give a free check to us. Yeah, that's large. So I think this one was a fold in the turn. That's definitely a mistake. Tomorrow I think I'll reduce my tables to play post flop better. Okay, so what do we have here? 35 bigs. Okay, the raise of 35 bigs, which is fine. 5.5x. Of 20 bigs. His three betting of 20 bigs, his hand range should be tight. I don't know what the situation was, but I am assuming this is like a 50% left. Just taking symmetric stacks for no, cannot take symmetric stacks. ICM 50% left. Any UTG opens and do we have a 20 PV somewhere here? Yeah, we can look at this. So UTG opens. Cutoffs, three betting range of this stack size is pretty tight. Jacks plus ace king, etc. So once it does this, out of position, I think UTG is just folding his jack off here. So this was a mistake. 20 BB 3 but ace jack is folding. The response is mostly 4-bet jab. Hardly that much of calling going on. Few suited hands, not many pairs. Six or sevens to some extent, yes, but mostly no. Okay. Don't call. Okay, we do call. Just fold. Even if you call this, okay, just open another tab for this. The 50, 20 BB selected. This is the 50 non-selected. No. So 20 BB symmetric, same situation. What does it 3-bet? How do we respond? We jam and call a little more. So in purely chip EV environment, this is getting called. That's interesting. And yet, this is not like a big hand, as in the EV is not very high. In fact, Ace 10 suited has better EV. Ace 5 suited has better EV. So this is one of the worst hands you would call even in a chip EV environment. Queen of clubs, queen of spade, 4 of hearts. We check. He bets 1/3, which is pretty standard. There is no 1/3 sizing in GTO, but let's give him that. And we fold his account. Please fold. Damn. No point looking at this. This, I think, is a pure spew. You don't even beat like Ace King. What is he bluffing with? He's probably bluffing with, I don't know. I can't think of any bluff. I don't know why this call. I think he has kings and it's just a bait. He will jam because we have ace jack. He will call. Checks. That's weird. I think this is the biggest punt we made. Thankfully, we saved it. We will study a little bit of out of position 3-bet pots. So let me put it down in tomorrow's study plan. Can't really find my pen. So we saved it for tomorrow's practice session, playing versus 3-bets, 30 BB average, 20 BB average, and final 2 tables. If we get the time, we'll do it today. I have already exhausted about 4 hours of my study time, but if I still feel like it, I might finish it off today. Let's see what we do here. Okay, this is 40 bigs. Again, a bounty, which I'm not good at. Plus, I don't know if I'm deep or wherever I am. Okay, so okay. He has less than us. So about 30 bigs effective. And we will have to check it in CPV. Can't do post flop here. But we can definitely. Okay, CEV doesn't have PKL, so we won't have post flop solves, sadly. Two folds, this guy opens. What does button flat with? Button has a lot of suited aces, suited 10x's, suited 9x's, suited 8x's, king off, king jack off, ace queen, ace jack, ace 10 off. very few free bets. So fine. He flats. Big blind. I'm just holding big blind because, like I said, we won't have bigger shots. I don't think we should be barreling this. Just looking at the range that we just saw, I don't think that there'll be too many bets with two overs. With jacks, yeah, jack is a pure check. Poker seems so easy when you're studying it, and it's so tough when you're like playing it. So his pre-flop range contains a lot of king X's, a lot of these queen X's. Uh, and our range has those, but out of position on this flop, we will have to check. And this is something I studied cutoff versus button, and I realized that out of position checks a lot, and he has to give up a lot. So this should have been a check, especially with jacks. The hands that we get to bet here are two pairs, overpair, top pair, some ace highs, and these ace highs are probably hearts. Heart actually checks more. Backdoor bets more, and no flush draw bets more. The flush draw actually checks more. I'll put this in studying for later. I don't think I'll do this tomorrow. Okay, so this is a mistake for sure. And we get called, we'll have to give up. Let's see if it bets what happens. So, what was the sizing? Ah, okay. See where other queen players go and button calls. Button calls a lot of things, 65% of the time. A junk turn is 8 of clubs. Low jack again checks 50% of the time. Bets just two pairs, over pairs, top pair. Again, some ace highs as bluffs, semi bluffs. That's pretty much it. It doesn't get to barrel a lot. So what do we do here? We check and we fold. Now I have another question. So let's say we check that, and he bets a 32% sizing. What are we doing with jacks? What hands are we calling here? We are calling sets as traps. That seems reasonable. Top pair, the top pair portion of the range that we have checked. Basically, king with bad kickers, jack 10, 9, etc. etc. Those are getting called. Queen X's are getting called. Queen X's are never getting bet on the flop. And some third pairs. Third pairs are basically pocket pairs. Jacks, 10s, 9s, 8s, 7s. We do not have that many 3x's. So that's that. So we would have called. Turn would be the 8 of clubs. What does jacks do now? Jacks checks. We get another bet, and I guess we fold jacks. Yeah. Against a smaller bet sizing, we'll probably be calling a little more. Yeah. What are we raising? Two pairs, over pairs. No mate, actually, let us jack 10. Okay. With jack 10 are we raising them? Hearts and clubs, it makes sense. Okay. So this is this. This should have been checked. This we should have folded pre. This I somehow missed this, didn't I? Yeah, I remember that hand. There is nothing too much about it. What happened here? Okay, 250. Okay, 40 bids. Boundary raise. 40 being raised, but 40 down. Raise this. Okay, first of all, let me go to ICM, PKO. Again, taking 50% left. 1000 player field. I'm pretty sure if it's GGG with 1000 people field, we cover him. So that we have to somehow reflect. We don't have 6 packs here. 40 weeks. 42. 35. 40, 40, 40, 40, 40. The closest approximation that we will get is, I think, this. Raise 3 bets. What do we do? Ace Jack off is getting called pure. And this, if it was a non-bounty, let's see what would have changed, if anything. ICM classic 50% left. 1000 people field. No. 50-35 is definitely a minimum 25 versus 3 versus something. Decimal to drop 35 raises, this guy 3 bets. Ace Jack is getting folded. This is happening because we are covering him. We are calling this. So that's, like I said, I am not very proficient in. So that's 1/3. Once we do this, I think we are calling. Yeah, this is pretty slow going. I need something to study most of ICM with. EG 30 effective. Okay. Ace of hearts. 5 of hearts. 9 of spade. I think LoJack will check a lot. Out of position keeps checking. That's the general theme. Yeah. Checks pretty much everything. This guy bets small. This jack is definitely calling. What's the turn? 5 clubs. Okay, low jack will check again. No, what does hijack check? He just pots it. and ace jack calls it off. In a bounty, I don't think I would have folded this, though I don't know what is three betting here that he is that we are beating. If I look at this, then his three bet range is the aces that we don't beat. Okay, I think we played this at time. Let's look at this quickly. Why do we have it here? Let's open. Okay, this is a question I have continuously had. 40 bigs, early position. I think this is a call. 40 bigs. Early position raise. Ace queen suited calls a lot. Ace jack suited calls a lot. Offsuit side is three betting. The three bets are coming from offsuit and top pairs. There is very little monkey business going on here. So basically, suited tens are being played, and they are being called a lot. This portion, ace queen is being three bet. So as long as I've called this, we should have done fine. So we have questions post flop, no standard. He bets, we call, he checks. I think the river is a value bet. That's fine. Moving on. What happens here? Works. Pretty deep. These two guys are pretty high beaters. Okay. So this is a squeeze spot. Another thing that we have not done very often. This is very deep, so we can look at like CV. This probably is like a very early portion of the tournament. Cutoff raises. SB calls. What do we do with king queen off? We call. We don't squeeze with this. Our squeezing components are generally in the suited side. I think I squeezed this and I saved it to figure out later. Yeah. When we do squeeze, what is the sizing? 12. Okay, let's check this one. So that's one. There'll be some amount of this, but I don't think a lot. So chip PV ICM PKO. We don't have 6 max. Nobody has a bounty, so I'm assuming it's still like early part of the tournament. We cover him. So 40 versus something. 53-27. No 40 with coverage stuff. Okay, let's look at this one. Button folds. He raises 2x, which is crazy. I don't know how we respond to 2x. Jack 5 doesn't raise. Some amount of bluff raising going on from this portion, but not from Jack 5. That's too loose. So here we are a little too loose. 40 bigs. This is how we play. We call a turn. 3-bet value and some amount of mixing with these hands, and that's at offsuit 7 is the floor. Okay, so floor pushing 30%. Yeah, checking is fine, I guess, with 5 card. Or check, check. No need to bluff this. Okay. I think I'll stop saving these many hands. It's killing me. Okay, 100 BB raise, get 3 bet. Oh, okay, I guess that's $2 turbo for you. You can check this in CEV. 100 bits. Fine. So 1 to 3, what is a 7? So we raise one here. What does this guy get to 3 bet? Not a lot. The standard hands with some bluff thrown in, but at a $2 turbo, with this guy being at 60% VPIP, I think he has more than this. He probably is doing the shit with like ace 9 suited plus on the suited side, and none of these are getting called. So yeah, he 3 bets, gets pulled into the small blind, who should basically never be calling, and he calls. So I don't know how to put it. I'll make the button call and see what happens. Actually, the big blind calls. Oh, damn, my mistake. The big blind also is not supposed to call at all. I'll have to make the button call, sadly. And the big blind folds. What does UTG do with ace queen suited? Oh, this is interesting. He's folding ace queen off. Never knew this. Yeah, I think offsuit folding offsuit queen X makes sense with this much action and 100 big blinds. We don't want to be putting it in with like ace pair or queen pair. So the better hands to play here would be the suited ones and the pairs with which we can flop sets. Makes sense. And what do we squeeze with? We squeeze just this and this. So ace queen doesn't come into the mix. Ace king does, and I think that's why I saved this. Should I be 4-betting here or not? What do we do? This was a fold. We ended up calling. So I guess that's that. Moving on. What happens here? Uh, this is what? Less than 40. 35 types. Raise, what do we do with suited targets? We don't cover him, so I think we could have gotten away from this. PKO. Again, looking at the bounties, it looks like it is somewhere in the early middle left, so like 70% left or something. 40-35 kind of a situation. He covers us. And we have like 35. Let's spend that. I don't think I'm studying very efficiently. So okay, so he gets to open. What does ace 10 suited do? Mixes between fold and a call, so I'm okay with this call. Somebody else comes in, and I don't think we can do much. 4-way. Nobody wanted the pot, so we're making a stab at it. But I don't think we rep anything here. We don't have that many 4x's in our range. We don't have that many 6x's in our range. What do we really have here? I think this is, I don't know, good, bad, ugly. I don't think we'll have a solve for this at all. Four-way. Like, what happens here? Okay. Bounty somewhere in the middle of that. Raise. Raise. Big blind to cover the stack. 10 at 5. I think we should be going large on this flop. Let me change this to CV. 50 bigs. We open. Continue folds. Big blind calls. Big blind's calling range will have a lot of 10x's, 8x's, jack nines, 9 sevens, two pairs, etc. So I think if we bet this flop, we should be betting on the larger side. Kings definitely bets here. That's my assumption, I think. So big blind checks. UTG, yeah, UTG has a lot of large bets, 125% of pots and pot. I don't think I would ever be using 125% as in I have not used 125%, but that looks like the best strategy. Okay. Sets bet large, two pair bets large, over pair bets large, top pair bets large. So overall a lot of large betting going on. Let me see what size may I choose. I hope it is close to pot. This is bad, especially in a bounty tournament. I'm getting called here all the time. So to extract value, I should have bet a lot larger here. This I think is a mistake. Pretty sure I'm gonna get called. Yeah, I will have to check on the 10. That's fine. I don't know. There is something we can bet smaller with. Kings over bet smaller. What sizing does it choose? 83%. So we don't really have this. But if we did and a 10 rolled off, what are we doing? Ah, 10. Maybe checks again. Or does it? Yeah, baby checks again. And we have to check back or not. Quads, full house, trips, over pair is betting. So kings, if we had kings, we would bet. The portion of the kings that we have is betting again. So checking on the turn is not that great. And on the river, I think we'll have to call this. Yeah. What do we? Let's see. So baby checks this guy bets UTG checks. Reverse the jack of spade. BB bets. What does King X do? Whatever little King X we have, pure calls. So quads, full house, straights, trips, all this is fine. Over pairs always call. Top pair always calls. Third pair almost always calls. That's only one King 8, but that does call. There's not too much of folding going on here. At the low stakes, I think people will not be bluffing as much as the solver, but Still, I don't think we get to fold this. Okay, what else do we have? Come on. Why did we save this? Okay, this is a mistake. We just folded the hand and we saved it. This crazy. 245 maybe delete the okay. 6-5 also will be a defend. Nothing too much. Uh, this is again probably ICM, classic, and lights out with us 50,000 left. I have to check with somebody if we really need to like study this range. As in ICM spots for like 50%, 65% left. Okay, 765 kind of save this now. So we call. Call. Block comes. 9 of spades, 7 of hearts, 4 of clubs. Take that checks. Or does he? What happens here? He bets. Everybody's betting 1/3 these days, so he does that. I don't think against that sizing we really need to raise. Yeah, 6-5 off will purely call. Against the bigger sizing, probably 6-5 raises a little more. No, it doesn't. It actually calls a lot more. Okay, I am wrong. Against almost all sizings, we call. These rolls off. This off. Check again. He again bets 1/3, which is crazy. I don't see any 1/3 betting, but then this is a $1 tournament. So he bets 1/3. For sure, we are calling. Why will we fold 6-5 with getting such good odds? I think I just saved this to kind of figure out what should I be doing on the flop. We call and we hit Gen. Now, do we lead with 6-5? No. Do we have any leads? Yes. Ace-8 is done. That's very little. You can actually think of the spot as purely being checked. Okay. Big blind checks, he bets 1/3 again, which is crazy. I don't know why he will do that. I think 6-5 will jam. I hope I don't. I just like make it like 3.5, 4K. This sizing doesn't look like he's gonna call me with too much anyway. It's just gonna fold. I don't know why he bet with this. That's interesting. Why that sizing is this. He finished 6th in this, which was super tilting. Anyway, I think we'll have a lot of plans from the family table. I think I'll close my study session here. My head hurts already. I'm gonna close off the remaining hands tomorrow and take it from there.